Welcome to United Report, your daily hub for all things Manchester United, from transfer news and match updates to exclusive stories. We've got you covered. If you're a true Red Devil, hit subscribe and join the United family. Glory, glory, Man United. Bryan Mbeumo is running out of patience as his dream move to Manchester United hangs in the balance. The Brentford star, fresh off a sensational 20-goal season, has made it clear he wants Old Trafford. But with Brentford rejecting multiple bids and holding out for more than $62.5 million, United are now under pressure to act fast or risk missing out. Will the Red Devils finally get their man? Let's break it all down. Bryan Mbeumo is growing increasingly frustrated by Manchester United's failure to agree a deal with Brentford. The forward has made it clear that he wants to join United this summer, having rejected the chance to follow former Bees boss Thomas Frank to Tottenham. Brentford want more than the $62.5 million United paid Wolves for Matthias Cunha and have rejected 2 bids so far. United are now weighing up a third offer for Mbeumo, who scored 20 goals in 38 Premier League games last season. And as first reported by The Standard, both Mbeumo and Brentford have become frustrated with the slow progress. Brentford are happy with their stance, feeling it has been backed up by the prices both being asked and paid by clubs for players in similar positions, notably Noni Madueke and Anthony Elanga. Arsenal are interested in signing Madueke, with Chelsea valuing the England international at more than $50 million, while Newcastle have agreed a deal worth $55 million to sign Elanga from Nottingham Forest. Brentford believe the fee they are demanding for Mbeumo, when compared to the aforementioned trio, is more than fair. Director of Football Phil Giles recently spoke out about Mbeumo's future and suggested he could end up staying at Brentford. He had a fantastic season, Giles told BBC Sport said last month. We expected big interest in him. We have had big interest in him. He has his ideas about where he wants to take his career. Of course he does. He is well within his rights to do that. We are in constant dialogue with him and representatives about that. As it stands at the minute, we don't have an agreement in place for him to leave. It is not impossible he is still a Brentford player next season if we agree he is going to stay. It has to be the right deal for Brentford. Any club will tell you that. If it's not right deal, why would we do it? He is certainly one of our best players, if not our best player, and we need our best players. There's no harm in keeping your best players. However, Brentford have agreed a deal to sell club captain Christian Norgård to Arsenal for around $10 million. We have been in conversations with Arsenal for the last week to 10 days, Giles confirmed. As it stands, it hasn't been completed yet, but it is heading in that direction. If that happens for him, then fantastic, he's earned it. He's been a brilliant captain for us. Let's see how that story ends, but we are pretty open about that interest there. Marcus Rashford's hopes of landing a dream switch to Barcelona have been aided after another of their targets had to be scratched off their list. Rafael Leao is the latest major name who won't be joining the Catalans, who have had little joy with their pursuit of more firepower this summer. The AC Milan star has excelled at the San Siro, and new manager Max Allegri insists he is going nowhere. Barcelona, fresh off the back of securing a domestic double in Hansi Flick's first season, are looking to bolster a forward line that already includes Robert Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal and Rafinha. Leao had been identified as their latest target, but the Italians have no plans to sell. Allegri has said, "I'm sure I can bring out that extra something he's been missing. I'm glad he stayed. He's now more responsible, more mature, and has all the qualities to become one of the best." That comes after Barcelona also missed out on Nico Williams and Luis Diaz. The latter was thought to be their priority, but Liverpool have made it clear, whilst his contract is winding down, that the Colombian will not be departing Anfield. As a result, Barcelona made a beeline for Williams, who put himself on the map with a stellar showing in last summer's Euros. He remains a leading light at Athletic Bilbao, and after being close to a move, has U-turned and chosen to sign a long-term deal at San Mamés, after Barcelona couldn't offer him certain guarantees. It means the Spanish giants are back to the drawing board, and Rashford could be a name they now consider. The Manchester United forward doesn't appear to have any future under Ruben Amorim after being loaned out back at the start of the year. His move to Aston Villa was a success, but has not been made permanent, and Rashford has been somewhat left in the lurch over his next move. It is understood that the England international sees Barcelona as his dream destination, and that move could now materialise if they persist with their plan to add another forward. Newcastle are also among those to express an interest in Rashford, but they want a loan move, whilst those in Manchester want an end to the saga with a permanent exit on their radar. The 27-year-old has proven he can be prolific in the past, but he's been blighted by inconsistencies. Manchester United's new era under Ruben Amorim has officially begun, and it's Matheus Cunha making a big first impression. The 62.5 million Brazilian forward, signed from Wolves, was the first through the gates at Carrington as United kicked off pre-season training. Joined by fellow new signing Diego Leon and stars like Mason Mount, Ahmad and Joshua Zirkzee, the message was clear. United mean business after last season's disaster. But it wasn't all smiles. Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, Anthony Garnacho and Malaysia were told to stay away as they push for exits, while Bruno Fernandes and Diogo Dalot remain on compassionate leave after Diogo Jota's funeral. As Amorim sets the tone for a vital pre-season, can this fresh-faced squad bounce back from the worst finish in Premier League history? New Manchester United signing Matheus Cunha was eager to impress boss Ruben Amorim. On the first day of pre-season training, Cunha, signed for 62.5 million from Wolves, was the first player to report for duty at United's training complex, arriving before 8 a.m. in a chauffeur-driven vehicle. The Brazil forward, 26, was joined by fellow new boy Diego Leon, as well as United stars Ahmad, Mason Mount, Noussair Mazraoui, Aiden Heaven, Joshua Zirkzee, Toby Collier, Matthijs de Ligt and Kobbie Mainoo. 15 players in total were present. The rest of the squad will return later this week, but 5 stars Marcus Rashford, Alejandro Garnacho, Anthony, Terrell Malaysia and Jadon Sancho have been told to stay away after informing the club of their desire to move. It is understood all 5 will be allowed back to work at the training ground once Amorim and his squad have left for their 3-game pre-season tour of the US in a couple of weeks' time. Rashford, who spent the second half of last season on loan at Aston Villa, has lost his number 10 shirt at the club to Cunha as he continues to push for a move away. He is keen to try his luck in another country, with Barcelona his preferred destination. United boss Amorim will be keen to get his squad in perfect shape for the new campaign as quickly as possible after ending last season in 15th place, the club's worst finish of the Premier League era. Amorim's side also missed out on European football for next season, only the second time United have suffered that fate in 35 years after losing the Europa League final to Tottenham in Bilbao. Fernandes and Dalot both attended the funeral of the Liverpool forward in their homeland on Saturday after Jota died, along with his brother in a car accident in northern Spain. The duo, both international teammates of Jota, were inconsolable, and boss Ruben Amorim wants them to take their time before returning. Defenders: Noussair Mazraoui, Matthijs de Ligt, Aiden Heaven, Tyler Fredrickson, Luke Shaw, Diego Leon, Harry Amas. Midfielders: Toby Collier, Mason Mount, Kobbie Mainoo, Ahmad. Forwards: Matheus Cunha, Joshua Zirkzee. Manchester United face a pivotal campaign this season, and planning is already well underway. A number of Red Devils return to Carrington on Monday for their first day of pre-season, and it's probably fair to say that Ruben Amorim will have his stars hard at work as he attempts to recover from what was a woeful season last time out. Fortunately, work has already started on their summer business. A 62.5 million deal for Matheus Cunha has already been rubber-stamped, with the Brazilian joining from Wolves, while Diego Leon became United's second addition of the summer. But the work is not expected to end there. A new winger, as well as a striker, are also on the club's shopping list. But will those deals get done in time? There's less than 2 weeks before United's first pre-season friendly of the summer against Leeds, so Amorim will be keen to get moving. Take a look at the most pressing issues that the Portuguese coach needs to sort. The Brentford star has emerged as the Red Devils' prime target of the summer, and all the signs point towards the deal being done. United have faced competition from Premier League rivals Tottenham, but Mbeumo is currently prioritising a switch to Old Trafford. They have had 2 bids for Mbeumo rejected and are now contemplating a third, which will be in the region of £65. And should all go to plan, United will be optimistic of getting a deal done sooner rather than later. A deal for Mbeumo will take United's spending this summer to around £130, meaning they will likely need sales to offset that outlay, and there are already a number of candidates to leave. Last season's loanees Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford and Anthony are all high on the list of potential departures, so Amorim will be very hopeful of finding suitors for all of the 3. The exits are unlikely to stop there though. Goalkeeper Andre Onana is a candidate to leave on loan, while left-back Tyrell Malaysia is unlikely to have a future at the club following a season with PSV. Finally, Alejandro Garnacho could also be sold amid apparent interest from Chelsea and Napoli. Amorim will surely want the future of his misfits decided before they fly away for their pre-season tour, but that could well be a tough task. Speaking of departures, Onana is one of a host of players who could leave. The Cameroonian goalkeeper has endured a tricky few seasons since joining for big money from Inter Milan. Reports have suggested that United are open to letting him leave on loan amid apparent interest from Monaco, and that has seen the club linked with a host of goalkeepers, including Aston Villa's Emi Martinez and Botafogo star John Victor. Amorim must come to a decision over his number one sooner rather than later. If he decides to let Onana go, a replacement needs to be signed, but if he stays, Amorim needs to make it clear that he is his man going forward. And while Amorim has a decision to make between the sticks, the same could be said of the centre of his attack. Kuna and Mbeumo represent excellent additions to United's front line, but they are unlikely to be leading the line this coming season. Central striker has long been on the club's shopping list. Victor Gyökeres was a strong candidate for a move, but he now appears likely to become an Arsenal player instead. It could potentially leave United in a tricky position where they don't have enough funds for a new striker, which may have to see Amorim put his faith in Rasmus Højlund, but that decision needs to be made first. The past few seasons have obviously been rotten for United, but there is one place that they have excelled, giving academy stars an opportunity. Kobbie Mainoo and Toby Collier are two of the standout success stories over recent seasons. But with a lack of European football next season, the best way for the club's young stars to get experience might be loan spells away. Dan Gore, Harry Amas and Ethan Wheatley are candidates for temporary moves, while there are also plenty of promising stars in the club's academy ranks who could benefit from moves.